to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video. Make sure you also like, share, and comment. Today I'm going to be talking about how to have charisma, how my Rizz has gotten me every single job that I've pretty much ever had, and how it's going to continue to help me get job opportunities. So I'm going to talk about how I have it, how to get it, how to improve, all of those things. One of my mutuals on TikTok, Hannah Gets Hired, has been talking a lot about charisma. I'm reading different articles and books and sharing information with people on what it is, how you're not really born with it, and how you can essentially improve your charisma. So I wanted to share my experience. I don't think I was born with charisma or Rizz. I don't know. I think it's like a character trait that I've developed over time in observing other people's behavior and how their behavior has helped them excel professionally, and mimicking that to evolve my own level of charisma or Rizz. So let's get started. First things first, I like to give a definition when I'm talking about topics like this so that people can better conceptualize what I'm saying and connect the dots. When I was talking to my fiance about charisma, I was like, what do you think charisma is? Like, I really wanted to see if people understand the solid definition of it. And he's like, I don't know, but I know I have it because people have told me I have it. Charisma: compelling attractiveness or charm that can inspire devotion in others. Used in a sentence, she enchanted guests with her charisma. Charisma essentially is how someone carries themselves, how they speak, how they present outwardly to the world, and how their presentation makes other people feel in a positive way. It makes people feel energized, enlightened. It's so cringe to say this, but I always get told that I'm a very eloquent speaker, and when I do speak about certain topics or my industry, people feel motivated and encouraged. That is charisma. Being able to speak so passionately and confidently that other people feel that same level of passion. It's almost like having fairy dust. When you speak, the dust just comes into other people. They feel the excitement that you feel. That is honestly what having charisma or Rizz is. In order for me to have charisma or build up my charisma, the first thing I had to start with, and that you will have to start with, is confidence. You must exude confidence. I know someone's gonna ask me, well, how do you improve your confidence? I have generally always been a confident person, but I'm not gonna lie, I've worked for some bosses that have broken my confidence all the way down to the pits. All the way down, and I had to learn how to rebuild my confidence back up. How I did that was understanding that I'm not gonna know everything. Especially in the workplace, I think some really bad managers, really bad bosses will break entry-level people down or even mid-level people down because they don't know absolutely everything. The first thing I really had to learn and accept was that I'm not gonna know everything. And anyone who tries to lie or pretend that they do know everything, that they're all knowing, is that you're a joke. It's not possible. I've had so many bosses that try to make it seem like they are omnipotent, all-knowing, and I'm like, there's no way you can actually possibly know everything, because there are things that are taking place in my industry that none of us are privy to, that only Congress is privy to, or the government, or whoever. It's not possible. So in understanding that I won't know everything and other people around me won't know it, it made it a little bit easier for me to accept that sometimes I will get things wrong, but that's okay, because in getting it wrong, I'll be able to learn from it and grow from it. Confidence in the workplace is all about trust. You have to have trust in yourself that you are capable, and even if you don't know something, you're capable of figuring it out. And when you're able to have that trust in yourself, other people will have confidence in you and your abilities. And those are kind of like the building blocks to building up your corporate or professional confidence. I honestly believe that effort is confidence, because if you're willing to try and then fail and then learn from that mistake to only be better, you will only have more confidence at the end of that. You have to try. That's the thing. You have to accept that you're gonna fail. You're gonna get things wrong. There will be trial and error, but only can you compound your knowledge and expertise with experience. And you can only have that experience if you're willing to put in the effort and try. Second thing I did to build my charisma is learn how to listen very intently. It doesn't matter who I'm talking to, I will find a way to be interested in whatever that person is talking about. Like if someone's talking about wine at work, which is why I took wine appreciation in college and it was gonna help me in business, I can talk about it. I could talk about golf. I could talk about snowboarding. I could talk about even though I don't have kids right now, if someone has a kid, I know what it's like to be a kid. So I can find interest in like learning more about the parent-child dynamic, learning new things or dealing with difficult people. It doesn't matter what anybody's talking about. I've had enough experiences in life where I'll be able to find some sort of interest or commonality with the person that I'm engaging with. I think the key to learning how to listen intently is being a curious person. Being curious as to what this person is talking about, why they're talking about it, and why they have the perspective that they do, and constantly seeking to learn more about the person that you're engaging with. I'm telling you, it's the fundamentals of having charisma. Do you ever see those people who can literally spark a conversation with anyone and everyone loves talking to them? It's because the root of their charisma is having and knowing the ability to listen intently. Not just listening to like respond, but really listening for curiosity. Sometimes in the corporate space it can be annoying, and it used to annoy me a little bit because I felt like I was like the in-house therapist and everyone wanted to always talk to me about like different things or issues. But I really learned to appreciate that because I'm happy that I can offer support to other people. Number 3, which kind of ties into number 2 with listening intently, is to express care and concern for other people. If any of my colleagues are having a bad day, and I can tell because I pay attention to people's body language, I pay attention to people's reactions, inactions, I learn what triggers other people based on what I observe. If I am on a call and I hear my colleague is like really down, like I've had so many colleagues have different experiences in life and come and talk to me about it, but I already knew they were going through something based on like the tone of their voice. If I hear someone's voice is cracking, obviously it sounds like they're about to cry, I'm gonna check in with them at the end of the call and be like, oh my God, are you okay? We can talk about it. I'll spend an hour talking to you about whatever the issue is. Or I had one coworker I could tell was very checked out and jaded just based on the tone of their voice, the inflections in their voice. I later found out that this person had someone very close to them pass away, and then we talked about it and I expressed my experiences with loss. You know, I've lost sister, my dad, one of my best friends who is also my cousin, all in a 10-year span. So my level of empathy is extremely heightened based on my experiences, and expressing care for other people and their feelings and emotions is very easy. Number 4, express your passion. Charismatic people are passionate about whatever it is they're passionate about, and people can feel the passion dripping off of them, oozing off of them. All this time that I've been talking about clinical research, people always tell me, I decided to go into clinical research because of how much you talk about it, how much you enjoy it. Whenever I'm interviewing for a job, I express my passion for whatever the therapeutic area is. If it's psychiatry, I talk about my experiences, personal experiences, and like experiences with people in my life who have struggled with mental health issues, and how passionate I am about finding different treatment options that actually work for people. When I worked in hematology, I expressed my passions for genetic blood disorders in sub-Saharan Africa, about being someone who has sickle cell trait and how important it is for me to educate other people on the importance of getting tested and the importance of understanding what it means to bring a child into this world that has a genetic disorder such as sickle cell disease. Very passionate about all those things. It doesn't matter what the therapeutic area is when I'm interviewing. I will find a way to express that passion. And when people feel that you are passionate about something, you are more likely to get that opportunity or that thing, or to influence other people. Honestly, there have been roles that I've interviewed for where there are people way more qualified than me, but my expression for the passion of the thing that the company is focused on gets you the job every time. Number 5, always ask questions. I'm an inquisitive gal. That's part of the being curious of what other people are talking about, with listening intently and asking questions and engaging with them in conversation. Questions are very important to having charisma, Rizz, whatever you want to call it. When you ask questions in the right way, it guides people to self-disclosure. I always talk about, in an interview, you just want to get the interviewer to like talk about themselves. Even at work, like just get people to talk about themselves by asking thought-provoking questions. I asked one of my colleagues, they were talking to me about me being recently engaged. I just asked them, I was like, oh, you know, what are some things that you feel you've learned in your marriage? I'm really curious as I'm embarking in this next step in my life. They went on a whole self-disclosure, whole self-discovery pathway, and I really appreciated it because it helped me as I'm preparing for that next stage in my life. But we also were able to connect a lot more because I was asking very insightful questions that allowed for them to think and reflect a little bit more. Charismatic people are very curious. Influential people are very curious. They also ask questions to get to know the person they're engaging with a little bit better. This is where charisma can go right or wrong. By understanding the person you're talking to more, it's easier to influence that person because you understand them a little bit better. I think influence is a dangerous thing because some people use it for the wrong way, but how I would use it in getting to understand the person that I'm engaging with a little bit more by asking questions. If I know that they're struggling with something at work or they're struggling with something personally, I will know how to advise them better because I've asked questions that help me assess them and their personality and their characteristics a little bit better. And the last thing is making others feel good, making other people feel valued. All the things that I've talked about in this list do all of that, honestly, but charismatic people make people feel heard, they make them feel supported, they make them feel optimistic. That's a big part of my content as well. I don't care what anybody says about corporate. I'm never gonna be the person that's like, corporate's so evil. There's good and bad to everything. I like to create content that makes people feel like there is still hope, there is still opportunity. There is still progress to be made in whatever, realm. Being an optimistic person and allowing people to feel that optimism is the fundamentals of charisma, Another thing I wanted to point out is, in order to make people feel good and supported, for example, for me, it's giving a lot of information. I've had so many people ask me like, oh, stop talking about clinical research, stop talking about regulatory on social media, because then the industry will become so crowded and there will be less opportunities for other people. I don't think that way, personally. I know everyone's on this gatekeep journey. I don't think that way. Anybody who wants to better themselves professionally, who wants to contribute to the world of clinical research, I think it's insane to say that you don't want other people to know about clinical research to better the industry so that we have better treatment options out there for people who are extremely ill. If you don't want that, you should not be in clinical research. We should be sharing information with each other, uplifting each other in order for the industry to get better and people to have higher life expectancy. That's how I think. That's how my brain operates. There's other aspects to having charisma. People talk about like how a person looks. I do think that plays a part in it. I don't think you have to be like, Naomi Campbell or Zendaya or Ryan Gosling or whoever people think is like the sexiest people on earth. I don't know who's been awarded that this year, because it's not about that. It's about the things that I discussed in this list. I hope you found this video very helpful. Make sure you like, share, and comment. And as usual, I am so appreciative of you guys. Thank you for supporting my platform. Until next time, bye.